Hey folks, Nos here with the new Pax Day video. Today we're going to be talking about the patch notes for verse 4. Raiders of Lyonesse, I believe is what they're calling it. So let's jump into this. I know the video's a little late. I decided to take some time and kind of mess around, check things out in game and stuff before cutting the video, the patch notes, thinking that maybe giving you a little more unique perspective on it, from my end of things, actually being out there and you know instead of just reading you the patch notes, which is what I do a lot of times. So anyway, so with patch 4, they did a nice little trailer for the patch, showing some of the gameplay. It's pretty cool seeing all the different stuff that they went into. You get to see some of the Lyonesse landscape and stuff. So, um, being that patch 4 or verse 4 is all about the PvP stuff, or the setting the foundation, and the foundation basically being the new map for Lyonesse. We have the new map, and I want to show it here real quick. So this is off PaxMap's website. It's map.paxtools.info. He's gone ahead and got the new map updated on his site. You can track some material goods and things like that on here. So when you jump in from your PvP gate, you're going to be here, 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 or here. There is a Petra there for teleporting, and then these areas, like we had talked before, these are the trade towns. Um, and there is a Petra there that you will need to discover, and just like in the home valleys, basically you discover that, and then you can port there once you pop in through the gate and stuff. Um, the trade towns currently are a no PvP zone, and I think that's going to stay that way based off of what they've described with the next parts of the PvP update. So you come in, and as you approach, there are going to be these big stone pillars that have runes and stuff along them, and those are the demarcation of the Petra for for that trade town and stuff. When you get in, there are crafting tables and things like that. It's just like if you were at a Petra in um, one of the home valleys. So you can fix gear up to like level 1, level 2 maybe, um, easily enough there. Um, there is storage, just like in the home valleys. I see those being used for the folks that are doing the PvP. Um, you could store extra gear, extra consumables. So if you get whacked while you're out and about, you can pop back to the trade town, um, resuit up, and then go back and kill the fool that killed you to begin with. Just like the home valleys, you can use grace to expand the amount of inventory that you can store at the Petra. Um, I see gatherers probably using these as well, where they could go out and gather some stuff in the area, come back, unload into the Petra storage, go back out, do some more, come back until they feel like they've got enough. Then they come back, empty out the storage, and then port home with it. So it's very pretty. They did such an amazing job with this map and stuff. This whole zone is just great. Um, we we went in. It was me and Nickel and Victorious from my clan. We popped in, went here and got this Petra, and then from here moseyed around and got the next one. Each one of these zones also has its own unique name. It's kind of like having Bronir or Dalavan or Amonrock or anything like that. So they all have their own names, and that's evident in the Petra names and stuff as well. So one quick note. There's a little bug that I found. So when I'm running, anybody who watches my stream, you'll notice I don't have the compass uh, loaded up. It's just personal preference. Um, but there's a new UI piece built into the game that says it tells you like what zone you're in and what biome you're in. So, if you're running into, the pine forest or something like that, and you'd be like, can't say Bronier because Bronier doesn't have pine forest, but you get what I'm saying. It says that, but it also, when you're in the PvP zone, it actually says like PvP enabled or something like that, basically to let you know, hey, you are gankable, so watch your tail. So so one thing I noticed, I logged in at lunch on my GeForce Now account, and I ran in. And I was like, hey, I'm just gonna like just look around real quick. So I popped in and made the run down to here, and I thought, wow, they've this whole zone is like no PvP zone. So maybe just the center is where the PvP is going to be happening. So I ran all the way down through there and um, saw one person here to Trade Town, and that was the whole time. So I went through and picked up a few items and stuff, and then went home. Well, I come back this evening when I got home, and I got to go running out, and I went, I know I was watching other people stream this morning, like Kim B and some of the others, and I know theirs popped up, and I know they weren't down in this curse land. So then I got to thinking about it, and I flipped my compass on. Well, I flipped my compass on, and I stepped across the boundary, and all of a sudden, ding, and I was like, oh. So I was like a fool just running around thinking I wasn't, lootable, and the whole time I was. So keep that in mind if you run without your compass. Uh, this is, you are lootable here, except in the trade towns. So, okay. Back to, and one other little thing. These little places here, these look like they are the spots that, like, when you decide to become a feudal clan, these will be the points of interest, I guess, that you possibly will hold. Um, they're kind of in ruins right now, so I'm kind of wondering what'll happen whenever they become real, per se, as far as like what you can build on them and stuff. So, so I thought that was interesting. Um, at least I think that's what it is. It may be something completely different. So, anyway, back to the patch notes. So yeah, they go into fast travel, blah blah blah. Crafting resources. So yeah, the new enchant with the new map comes new enchanting maps, the Amber Grasp and the Canaanite. Amber Grasp you will gather um, and work it up at the alchemy table, making there's like, I know one of them is like a amber resin or something like that. And then with the Canaanites, there's a couple different kinds of those get worked up at the jewel crafting table. And I think the highest level stuff is like a Canaanite pearl or something like that. So you make something out of the ambergris, you make something out of the Canaanite, and then you put it together at either the jewel crafting table or the alchemy table. You put it together, and that makes your sanctified oil. And there's different tiers. There's different tiers of the different tiers of oil require the materials from the different tier of jewel crafting or different tier of alchemy. So um, I plan on doing some more videos on all of the pieces of this, just breaking down stuff like individually. So we'll talk about a little bit more in those. Um, but the lowest level of the enchanting oil will raise the item power for a piece of gear by plus 50. Um, so by raising your item power, the one video I did talking about item power, as your item power goes up, the stats on the piece of gear go up as well. So keep all that in mind. And you can take it up to 125. That is going to require a high level jewel crafter and a high level alchemist to make the highest level um, ambergris stuff and the Canaanite pearls, which I think the Canaanite pearls turn green at like level 44. So you're gonna, get high, and I think it requires like 300. Like one pearl requires 300 Canaanite, and the I think it's resin. The ambergris resin is like 300 of ambergris. So you want to get your alchemy and your jewel crafting, or have somebody high, so you're not wasting that stuff on a failed crafting attempt. So um, they added a whole slew of RP costume pieces. Um, there are dresses, new cloaks. Now, one thing to note is, like, the dresses are listed as gowns. So if you go into the tailoring table and you type in gown in the search thing, you'll see the new pieces. The same thing with the cloaks. If you type in mantle, you'll see the new mantles, tunics, and so forth. So everything, they gave them unique names so you can um, sort it out pretty fast and find what you're looking for. Um, Truthfully, I really think the crafting system needs a reorganization. That UI for the crafters needs something, some collapsible pieces or something, either by tier or something, just to make that a little bit easier to find what we're looking for when we're trying to craft things. Because I'm having to sort through 100 and some things now on the tailoring table or the armor smithing table, and it's just like, ugh, I go cross-eyed looking at things. So all of this stuff is really, really pretty looking stuff. The shoes, so the capes, the hats, the dresses, the tunics, and the pants are all made at the tailoring table. The shoes are made at the leather working table, and there's some new diadems. There are little crowns and like some laurels and stuff, different material types. Those are made at the jewel crafting table. And they start at like level 5 and roll up to like level 25, at least the tailoring stuff did. Um, so that's pretty nice. The stags now are guaranteed antler drops, and it's not just. They've also bumped the numbers up on them. The one stag that I killed today had 3 antlers on it, and Victorious talked to somebody while we were in Lyonesse, and they said they had killed one and gotten 5 antlers off. Now I don't know. They may have been running like a gathering buff or something, and maybe got more that way, or that may just be how it is. So we got mutant deer running out there with like Christmas trees for antlers, I guess, going on. So going from there, they made some changes to the buildings, reducing costs for materials on certain things. So granite is not so expensive. They apparently fixed some integrity issues on some of the smaller pieces, so they give better support. Um, Plots owned by the character in a specific server region are now shown to the player. Um, they fixed some snapping points. This last one, you can now set permissions to sell items at your market stall to public. I'm pretty sure that was already in there. I think that came in the last update. Um, so this here is a big one, and I plan on doing a kind of a standalone video just on this, the revamped lobby and the character creator. So the new character creator's got sliders for like pretty much your entire face and your body. You change your eyes height, how far they're spread apart. You can change like your brow, like bringing it forward and narrowing. You do all kinds of weird crap. Change your nose and all of that. So it's a more like a more traditional MMO nowadays has, like 5 million sliders. So, um, what will be nice if they fix it so you can come up with a one now that you can save. So whenever 1.0 drops, you can jump into the game and you're not sitting in front of the character creator for an hour, so you can get out there and play in the worlds. But like I said, I'm planning on doing a standalone video just on the the lobby and character creator. I think it's needed. Um, they fixed some character issues, some UI changes. They revamped the tier quality symbols. So now we've got the little ring that has the segments to show what tier the item is, and the colors designate the rarity, um, as before. Then a lot of fixes and stuff. XP whenever you're mining, skinning, and wood cutting now shows again. Although it would really be nice if that showed up for the rest of the crafting as well. Um, and I know some people have complained about the um, some of the UI pop ups and stuff. Where they pop up is kind of annoying, kind of in the way. So we could get some spread on some of that stuff so we can continue doing whatever it was we were doing whenever something dropped. So, um, so that would be great. Uh, some world changes. Mostly, most of this is just fixes. Um, this one here is a game changer. Um, So you Quicksilver barons out there, the world just dropped out from under your feet because this drop rate has been increased. Should say drop rates have been increased greatly. Um, while I was playing this evening, I had a buddy out doing some. Eron was out uh, doing some granite mining, and in one granite mining run, he came back with 3 Quicksilver. And while we were running around in Lyonesse, the little bit of pure iron runs that we or places we hit, I know we come back with 1 or 2 as well. So, um, so the market, if you were playing the Quicksilver market, it just broke. So keep that in mind. Um, I didn't even get a chance to check the night sky out. I was just so enthralled with everything else. I didn't really get a chance to look at it. I did notice that the clouds look, some of the clouds had more of a wispy look to it, which I thought was very more realistic. So that was kind of nice. We have some localization changes with some of the labeling, some camera fixes, audio fixes, a few crash fixes. Um, as with every patch, when they do something like this, there are going to be some issues that pop up because of the patch. One big one I think people are having some issues with is this one here. If you are equipping a weapon like a maul or something from your inventory, like by double clicking on it versus putting it down like on the hot bar. If you double click on it to equip it, you won't be able to block with it. And so make sure you've got your weapons down on your hot bar and stuff. So keep that in mind if you're having issues and you're like getting your butt kicked by something and your block's not working. So, um, there were some other like little issues and stuff. Things are not aligned. Um, this one was a big one. Some people were complaining about the level requirements for wearables and wieldables are no longer displayed in the tooltip. So it's kind of hard to determine whether or not you can actually use the piece of gear that you're trying to pick up. Um, Opening the construction hammer map briefly stacks all zone names at the center of the mini map. Hadn't seen that one. One thing I have seen is I've noticed when I'm zoning from one place to another, the new lobby screen will flicker in for a few seconds before fading back out, and I go to wherever I'm going. So hopefully they'll fix that. Um, Ooh, I didn't even know about this one. Character creation may fail and the game may crash if you create a character up to the zone selection step, then cancel each step to return to the character selection lobby, and afterwards create and enter the character with a new name. Restart is required to avoid this issue. So yeah, so it looks like maybe some of the character creator stuff is still a little buggy. Um, Certain face detail text entries do not fill in. Here's one thing I'm sure some people are going to get bent out of shape about. Um, the new RP shoes and boots are clipping through some of the pants, and they look really odd. So that's some stuff that they got to fix. Um, RP dresses show a seam near the collarbone when graphics are set to low quality. Some RP wearables have inaccurate Polish translations. So, um, all in all, I'm pretty happy with the update. I know Coloco had said on Discord earlier this morning that the plan is to do um, smaller updates but more frequent updates. That's their target. I think that's a good plan to get what they need to get done. Because these big updates, there's a lot that you have to troubleshoot. Where if you can break these things down into smaller pieces, they're easier to manage. It's just it's like anything else. Smaller something smaller to deal with is always going to be easier to spot bugs and imperfections and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. Like I said, I'm hoping to do some more detailed videos of some of the bigger chunks and stuff. Um, the crafting, the new character builder, uh, probably run around Lyonesse, let you see some of the new stuff, um, and see what you think. So that's all I got tonight. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe if you do. Feel free to catch me on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Clan Cedia goes out and we run dungeons those nights. So I'll be streaming live on Twitch there. You can catch me there if you like. Um, Otherwise, if you have any comments or questions, please drop them here. I'll try to get to them as quick as possible. And get you, hopefully, if it's a question, get you pointed in the right direction. Otherwise, hope you have a good night. Enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you soon. Be nice.